Okay, obviously happy to come away with the victory. Winning is difficult, no matter where you play in there. We know that from last year and previous years that you blessed when you come away with victory. We knew going into the game that they had a very, very stingy defense. Just look at how they've played all their opponents the first 3 games. If it wasn't for Temple blocking 3 punts that changed field position, that's a whole different ball game. A couple weeks back there, and they did a good job last week, and we knew they'd be vulnerable. I would say on offense, we can go back and reflect, and we probably had some, once again, give them credit, okay, but early in the first half, we had 2 or 3 drop balls, okay, focus, concentration, trying to do more. We were moving the football some, then we had a couple costly holding penalty and a personal foul penalty. Lost a little bit of focus and discipline there. So we needed to regroup. We were able to generate the opportunities at times, big pass play to Julian Stokes up the seam there, which is great, and able to punch things on in. And all along, again, second week in a row, go through our special teams. Our punter, Mr. Krim, does a terrific job changing field position on the day. That was the job Vergro done by our special teams units, pinning in deep, and when we needed it most to get some great things. And then, defensively, again, I thought we did a very, very good job. If you look at it again, rushing yards, they had 1 yard rushing, 241 passing. They hit a couple of those fades, and they had been doing that the whole year. And with a team like this, they see you playing press man, they check the fades. They probably were 2 out of maybe 7 on the day with the fades. You know, those things don't beat you if you don't let them frustrate you when the ball gets caught. I thought our defensive guys did a tremendous job of just pacing themselves and coming under control. With that, happy to get the victory, and then obviously playing Friday night with the Dartmouth game. It's a quick turnaround for our guys. We'll practice tomorrow night under the lights because it is a night game, and then we'll go with our normal traditional work week for them.
We'll move on to questions for Aidan and Jake.
Aidan, another week in the offense for you, another week with new offensive coordinator Dan Swanson. Can you just kind of give your evaluations of today's game?
Yeah, I think we missed a lot of assignments. We had a couple administrative penalties too that we need to fix, but overall we know what we need to work on, and we need to get back in the lab this week.
You guys started off, just it was a little bit no huddle, but you guys weren't able to score early in the first quarter. What was the key to getting things going? I know there was a big play to Stokes.
We just need to do our assignments well. We were trying to get that tempo up. A couple drop balls, couple missed passes by me. If we get those plays right, we're gonna keep moving the ball up a bunch of it earlier. So.
Jake, always great to get a shutout defensively. Can you just kind of give some of your evaluations of the defensive performance today?
I thought we did very well, honestly. 0 points is the goal for any defense, any game. But yeah, I think everyone trusted each other, one another. We got after the quarterback, stopped the run, and overall it was a great performance.
Like you said, got after the quarterback, stopped the run. Felt like you guys as a unit were in the backfield all night. That's something we talked about in the preseason, how strong this defensive line unit is. Just talk about that group as a whole. Joey Slackman, Michael Morris, yourself, just kind of what that group means to you.
We have a group of 9 guys that are all playing every game, and every one of them, when they roll in, we don't miss a step, we don't miss a beat. So it's really nice having all those guys roll in, so we always have fresh bodies. And then when it's time for, when the twos are in, it's time for us to go in, we're not missing a beat at all. So it's really nice to have depth like that.
Aidan, this is something I'm going to ask Coach, but Trevor Radosevic slided over to right tackle tonight for a pretty good portion of the second half. Can you just talk about him and his veteran leadership on the line?
Yeah, he's a leader vocally and just by his actions. Being able to step over right tackle, do his assignments, stay focused, stay relaxed, do what he needs to do.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Questions for Coach Priore?
All right, Coach.
Take care, guys.
Coach, we had mentioned last week a little bit sort of offensive adjustments at halftime. I'm just wondering if there's anything that you saw this game in particular that you adjusted to in the second half?
Yeah, kind of great. Last week's offensive adjustments were going back to the basics, okay? Running, catching, blocking. We really didn't do anything other than we executed better, okay? Today, it's honestly a little bit of the same thing. Their defense is pretty darn stingy as we knew going into it. We just didn't have that same bit of execution, same finish. I think when you go back on it and you look at the number of yards and stuff, it was 270 yards, not as much as you want, but you move the ball. You move the ball at times, and then we would stub our toes with, again with two penalties there and a couple of drops that really cost us in critical times. And we did have some field position that was forwarded to us by the defense. So again, no time to really. We have to evaluate everything, but with the short week right now, we get right back into it. Staff will be here bright and early tomorrow morning, and get on with it.
Coach, what are your evaluations of the run game so far? We've really seen Trey Flowers get going in the second half of games so far. What have kind of been your observations there?
Yeah, a little bit of running the ball in today's day and age. You go big, you get a lot of tight ends on the field, and you get a man for everybody. And you have to find who's the unblocked player and sort of account for him or try to move things away from him. Then you go to the RPO game, which is basically why we ran the ball pretty effectively. We were handing the ball off and getting 5 yards on a couple of plays. We knew going to this particular game after studying them that their DC did a great job of changing things up where they were blitzing the run attack, not just blitzing on pass down situations. And when you do that, you put the offensive line back in some situations and reads that Aidan could have had, pulled in things on out. So again, I don't think we're where any of us want to be right now on offense. I know walking off the field with Coach Swanstrom and staff, we know there's a lot more growth we can have, and honestly, our guys will get excited to take the trip up to Green Mountain State.
Coach, this week watching film, what did you see from Lafayette's defensive end, Malik Ham, number 99? What was kind of some of your impressions of him on film and then today on the field as well?
On film, he is very, very talented, and I have a feeling we'll be watching him on Sundays. I think he's that level of a player. Run to him, run away. He is athletic there. He'll make you pay if you try to go one-on-one situations. You mentioned earlier about Trevor Sovich going out to the play tackle. We had Jack Purcell tweet this back a little bit early in the week. Didn't practice, so we decided to not to let him play. I don't think anybody, when you don't practice, you perform very well. Moved Trevor out there, and I thought there was a great combination. I thought he did real well out there today. He held his own. I know a little bit of flushing with the pass stuff, but nothing where he got overwhelmed at all. So I thought they did good. Will Bergen came in and played center, which is great to see. Get that 6-man rotation going. But Jack, if we needed to press Jack into it, Jack couldn't play today. If we were playing for a championship, Jack would play for today, but that wasn't the case.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach, thank you. Guys, thank you. See you in a couple weeks.